Hey everybody, it's good to see you again. And this is the first of a series of devotions specifically directed at the Passion Week. Both myself and Pastor Michael tomorrow will be focusing on Gethsemane. You can read it through for the sake of time here in, Matthew 26, John 13, Luke 22, Mark 14, all contain the story as well as the rest of the Passion Week pieces. I wanted to just kind of focus us on something that maybe will just help us move to a new level when it comes to this week as it unfolds. I divided it into four things. First one is feet for washing. The second is food for eternity. The third is forsake him. And the last one is failure to follow. So let's just walk through these quickly. The first one is this idea and the understanding of feet for washing. Now, my focus for this devotion is the mind and the heart of the disciples. So you can imagine, as we are all used to routine, like that routine that's being totally disrupted by COVID-19, the COVID-19 thing has changed everything. Where we go, what we do, how we dress, what we wear, how far we are away from somebody. The routines are changed, the things we're used to. Well, the disciples experienced that when Jesus knelt down and began to wash their feet. They were horrified. They couldn't believe it. They challenged him on it. And he spoke to them and said a very simple thing, a simple understanding of what he spoke many other times, that he did not come to be served, but to serve. It was a big picture for them as they were kind of used to it being the other way. The second thing was the area of a food for eternity. Again, Jesus took the normal things that they were used to, the things that they did every year, the Passover meal, and he began to change the meaning of it. He took those pieces that are elements that they always had, and now they became what we celebrate as our communion, a covenant meal, a meal that went beyond just the Passover elements. It now moved it into a whole nother place. And here again, I can imagine the disciples thinking, what is going on? He's washing our feet, he's changing this meal, he's telling us things we don't understand, and they just watched him and paid attention to what was going on, and then off they went. To the Mount of Olives, to the Garden of Gethsemane. And then there in the middle of that, or as they're going there, he challenges them about following him, and Peter says, hey, don't worry about it, I'm with you, 100%, no problem. And of course, Jesus himself says, you know what, Peter, I love you, so to speak, but you're not going to do that. You have no idea what you're committing to. And of course, Peter, felt he could. Obviously, we know what happens. He walks away, and only in the early morning hours does he realize how true what Jesus said. Because, again, Peter was watching Jesus, he saw Jesus, but he didn't really understand everything. So I want to settle in on this area that kind of brings it all together, and that's the failure to follow. When Jesus was going to that special place of prayer, he turned to three of the disciples and said, come with me and watch with me. I think for many of us, and the disciples as well, many times we are watching Jesus. We pray and watch for him to do something, and watch for him to answer the prayer, watch for something to happen, watch the time of worship to unfold into something. But we don't really watch with him. In other words, we don't hear his heart. We don't say, God, what really matters to you in this situation? Not the way I want to see it. What matters to you? And I think the disciples fell asleep because they were done watching. They watched as much as they could. They got the general idea, and then they were done. And that's why Jesus was so emphatic. Watch with me. Hear my heart. Feel my tears. Know my cry. Know my place of wrestling. For me, when I walk with the Lord every day, I just say, Lord, show me your heart in this situation. When it's a time of prayer, Lord, show me how to pray. What is your heart? And you know what? When it's a time of worship, I just want to love the Lord. I want my heart to be open to him. And show me, Lord. Let me watch with you. Let me hear your heart in this situation. So this week, as each Devo unfolds and each pastor shares their heart, would you just do me a favor? And just before they begin, say, Lord, I want to watch with you these words. I want to watch and see what you see. I want to hear what you hear. I want to feel what you feel. And you know what? That will bring you to places you have never been before, and open your heart in ways that are better and more awesome than anything. So would you do that for me? Would you do that for the Lord? Watch with him this week, and you will be amazed at the things that God is going to do. God bless you. Talk to you soon.